1 month later, Ryan's point of view. It has been a month since our last meeting. After confessing his feelings, he left me there alone before ordering his car to take me home safely. I have been silent since that day. I rarely talk to anyone. Anna and Jennifer also know what David did to me and how Jungkook saved me from getting raped. Jimin told me that their men work for David. They found out his warehouse from that person. Jungkook's sudden confession shocked me. I don't know when he fell in love with me, but that day I saw the emotion in his eyes and I knew that he was not lying. But I don't know how I feel about him. I always hated him, even though the thought of him disgusted me. If he only wanted my body, he could use it just like David. But he didn't do such a thing. He warned me only for my safety. Was it because he loved me? He wanted to save me from that monster because he was worried about me. But why didn't he come after that day? Is it because he is still angry? I need to tell you something important. The flow of my thoughts suddenly stopped when I heard Jennifer's voice. Jennifer and Anna came to my house in the morning and told me that they would stay with me till night. They didn't tell me, but I know they want to make me feel better. Jimin wanted to join in, but Jennifer kicked him out of the house, saying it was just a girls' night. The day after the accident, Taeyang also came to my house and inquired about my condition. Now I talk to Taeyang frankly, but I feel more comfortable with Jimin. What is it? Anna asked with eating snacks. I am. Jennifer paused and smiled. Anna and I looked at each other in confusion, and then we looked at Jennifer, who was smiling broadly. I took a glass of juice, which was placed on the table in front of me. You are what? I asked and took a sip of my juice. I'm pregnant. She shouted excitedly, and I spit the juice out of my mouth and started coughing. Hannah started rubbing my back, and I looked at Jennifer, who was grinning widely. I quickly placed the glass on the table and turned to face her with a shocked expression. Jenny, you and Tayang, I asked for confirmation. Jennifer nodded happily, and I felt like I had an electric shock. I looked at Anna, and the look on her face was priceless. How it is possible? Anna asked, not believing the situation. I told you I would give him a chance, so I gave it to him, said Jennifer, forgetting with her fingers and looking down slyly. I mentally facepalmed myself. Does he know about it? Anna asked with raised eyebrow. Yes. Jennifer smiled slyly, but her eyes shined. Was he happy to know about your pregnancy? I asked. Yes. Jennifer nodded her head contentedly. I breathed a sigh of relief. Are not you both happy? Jennifer asked us, tears welling up in her eyes. Ah, mood swings. I looked at Anna and nodded. She nodded back with a smile. And then we both moved towards Jennifer and hugged her tightly. We are so happy, Jenny. We both said at the same time and kissed her on the cheek. Okay, now let me breathe, Jennifer said, pushing us away from her. Anna and I chuckled as we were about to move on. Jennifer's cell phone rang. We took a glance at the screen and saw the caller ID, showing hubby. Oh, the call is coming from the hubby. Anna teased. Oh, shut up, Jennifer said with a playful glare. Anna and I laughed and sat down in our previous place, and Jennifer picked up the phone. Yes, Tayang, Jennifer said softly, looking down. Anna and I were barely able to control our laughter. I am still in the Vian's house. Okay, I am waiting. Bye. The moment Jennifer hung up, Anna and I burst out laughing. Jennifer glared at both of them, suddenly aware we are laughing at her. What was this? I am really side drama, Jenny? I asked, still laughing. You will know this when you will fall in love. My laughter died away when I heard Jennifer's word. And you, Anna? I know how you get shy whenever Jimin is around you. The blush rounded the curve of her bosom, red hot and rising. See, even the mention of his name make you blush. I looked at Anna's face. There was a furious blush to her cheek. I never knew love was so magical. Why and wait until you fall in love with someone. Then you will know the magic of love after that. Just then the bell rang and Jennifer abruptly stood up and ran to the door, jumping in joy. God, if love make you do all this, then I'm not gonna fall in love with anyone. Good evening. Taeyang came in with Jennifer and greeted us. Good evening. We greeted back. Congratulations, you are going to be a father soon. I congratulated him with a big smile. He looked at Jennifer and then looked slyly and gently replied with a thank you. Taeyang and Sai, now this is a new thing. Taeyang cleared his throat. Jungkook came with me in my car and is now standing outside. I asked him to come in, but he refused. I think you should go and talk to him, or at least thank him. My tongue started out to wet my lips, and I nodded my head nervously. Okay, I will go and talk to him, I said and headed for the door. I came out of my house and saw him leaning against the car and smoking a cigarette. Seeing me coming out, he opened the door of the car and was about to get inside the car when I called his name. Jungkook! He stopped but did not turn. I sighed and walked towards him. Please look at me. He slowly turned around and looked at me without any emotion on his face. Thank you, I said and looked down at the ground. For what? Jungkook asked in a monotone. To save me that day, and I'm sorry. I should not have shouted at you. Jungkook huffed and dragged a thick puff of smoke. Want you say something? I looked at him and asked. He looked at my face for a brief second and then threw the cigarette on the ground and trampled it with his feet all the time, looking at me with his scary eyes. Then he took a deep breath and stepped closer to me. I blinked and stepped back immediately. I said what I wanted to say that day, but I have not got an answer yet. I know what he is referring to. I exhaled a deep breath. It was unexpected for me, I said. For a moment, he simply gazed into my eyes, and then he drew a deep breath. It has been a month, so have you thought about my confession? My eyebrows jerked up in shock. Is he really serious? Are you serious? I asked with my eyes widened. He came closer to my face. The smell of cigarette was coming from him. His dark eyes studied me intently. Do I look like I am joking? He cocked a quizzical eyebrow at me. I swallowed hard and looked into his dark eyes. His piercing eyes were intimidating. He leaned his back against the car and looked at me with his dangerous eyes, which made my legs tremble with fear. I will wait for your answer. He broke the silence after a few seconds. Huh? I knitted my eyebrows. The soul and body that is mine is not so much mine as they have become yours. You are only mine, and just as you have a right over me. So, do I have a right over your body and soul? You can take as much time as you want, like a week, a month, a year, or even a decade, but he paused and came closer to my face again. His body was towering over mine. He took a strand of my hair and placed it behind my ear and bent down until his lips touched my ear. I closed my eyes when I felt his breath on my skin. He kissed my earlobe. I clenched my fist and at the same time my eyes were tightly closed. Even in this winter season, my body started to feel hot. He kissed my earlobe again and whispered softly, I just want to hear yes from your little pretty mouth. Jungkook stepped back and looked straight at her face. Her jaw was hung low, with her doe eyes wide open. Can I ask you something? Ryan asked hesitantly. His penetrating gaze hovered over her face and pounced on her eyes. Then he nodded his head slightly. What did you do to David? She asked, stammering. I killed him. Jungkook said, as if it were not a big deal to him. Ryan took a step back in fear, but Jungkook snaked his arm around her waist and pulled her toward himself with a yank. Their chests collided with each other. Jungkook started caressing her cheeks with the back of his hand. I can't even stand seeing another man with you. And he dared to touch you. So how could I let him live, huh? Ryan tried to free herself, but his grip tightened around her waist, causing a quiet wince to escape her lips. Jungkook placed his hand behind her head and touched their forehead together. Ryan closed her eyes tightly as she felt his breath flutter across her face. I took out his eyes from which he saw your body. I cut off his hands from which he touched you. I cut off his ear from which he heard your scream but did not stop. He stepped back and looked at her face. Her eyes tightly closed and her lips were quivering. He placed his finger on her lower lip, causing Ryan to flinch. She opened her eyes and met with his cold ones. His grey eyes were boring into her soul, searching for a heaven only knew what. He caressed her lower lip sensually, which made her swallow a lump in her throat. And then I buried his body in the same room where he tried to rape you. By now, Vian's body was shaking badly. She could not believe that she was standing so close to this dangerous man who killed people in the blink of an eye. Now go home and think about my confession. You can take as much time as you want, but I swear that if I saw you with another man, he leaned closer to her face with a fury in his eyes. Vian could no longer stand with her eyes fixed on him. So she lowered her gaze. Then I will kill that man before your eyes in such a way that your soul would tremble. Vian girl. Jungkook freed her and she ran inside the house without waiting a moment. By the time she entered the house, she was out of breath. Taeyang, Jennifer, and Anna looked at her anxiously. What happened? Are you alright? Jennifer approached her and asked anxiously. Yes, I am fine, said Vian. Did you talk to him? Taeyang asked. Yes, I did. Vian answered softly and looked down. I hope there is no more resentment between the two of you. He looked at Jennifer. Shall we go? He asked. Oh, yeah. Jennifer hugged Vian one last time. Taeyang came over to Vian, patted her on the head. Take care of yourself, he said with a smile. Now Vian knows what it is like to have a brother. Vian smiled and walked over the door with them. Will you come to the cafe tomorrow? Anna asked as she stepped out the door. Yes, I will come. Okay then, see you tomorrow. Anna hugged her and left her house. Now that Vian was all alone, she sat down on the couch and began to think about Jungkook's world. No, no, he is very dangerous man. He kills people without even thinking for a second. I must stay away from him. But he saved you and confessed his feeling for you. She heard her inner voice. Ah, stop! She shouted in annoyance. I don't want to think about anything. I am leaving everything to fate, she said and got up from the sofa and went to her room to sleep. Vian came to work today. She had not been work for several weeks. Thankfully, Anna is the owner's daughter. Otherwise, she would have lost her job. It was getting dark, so Vian informed Anna that she was going home. Anna, how is your relation with Jimin going? Vian asked, taking off her apron. Everything is going well for us. Jimin said, I should graduate first and then we will take the next step. He is right. You should focus on your studies now, Vian said and took her bag. Bye, see you tomorrow. She said goodbye to Anna and then walked out of the cafe. She was walking outside a factory when she heard strange noises. There was no one around and it was almost dark. She did not want to get into any trouble, so she started walking again. But this time she heard a scream. She stopped and looked at the factory. This is not an abandoned factory, but a new chemical factory. It has been developed recently, so they do not have many workers. She could hear the faint sound of someone groaning. Her kind nature promoted her to go and help the man. She entered the factory and found some lights on. She heard the faint sound of a scream coming from some kind of room. She went to the big iron door and entered inside. The room was dark, only the lights outside were illuminating it. She heard someone moaning in pain. Who is here? Are you alright? She asked and moved inwards. Suddenly, she heard the sound of someone running, and before she could anything, she saw someone running out of the room. She ran after him, but the man left her inside and locked the door from outside. Open the door! She knocked repeatedly, but no one opened it. The room was completely dark now. She took out her mobile and turned on the light and started looking around the room. Then she suddenly saw someone's dead body lying on the floor and screamed loudly. Frightened, she retreated and fell to the ground. She leaned against the wall, hugged her knees, and began to cry. After a few minutes, the room began to feel cold. She looked at the screen of her mobile and found that there was no network. Now she could no longer call for help. She was shivering from the cold. She did not know how the room suddenly became cold. She glanced at her mobile screen again and luckily found the signals. She immediately dialed Taeyang's number with her trembling hands. We will discuss this in 2 days. Jungkook's words were cut off by the ringing sound of Taeyang's cell phone. Taeyang looked at the screen and frowned his brow in confusion. This is the first time Vian has called him. What happened? Why are not you receiving a call? Jungkook asked, staring at Taeyang a moment before typing again in his laptop. Ryan is calling. Jungkook's fingers stopped typing further, and he looked at Taeyang. For a moment, he was furious at the thought that Ryan was calling his friend, and what surprised him was how Ryan got Taeyang's number. He took a deep breath, controlling his jealousy. Pick up the call, Jungkook said. Resentment was evident in his voice. Taeyang nodded and answered the call. Hello, Ryan. Say me. He heard a faint whisper. What happened, Ryan? Where are you? Taeyang asked anxiously, and now Jungkook also left his laptop and started paying attention to their conversation. I am dying. And then the line was cut off. What happened? Jungkook asked, panicking. I couldn't hear well, but I think she was saying, say me. Jungkook got up from his seat and immediately called someone. I am sending you a number, trace it and send me the location quickly. Jungkook said and hung up. He picked up his coat and car keys and ran to the door. Wait, I will come with you, said Taeyang, standing up. Jungkook opened the office door. You attend the meeting, I will go and find Ryan, he said as he left the office. His car came to a stop near the factory and he got out of his car. He looked around and saw no one. What is he doing here? He asked himself confused and went inside the factory. He did not find anyone and the lights were on. It is weird how someone leaves their factory open like this. He looked around and saw a large iron door. He went to the door and found it locked from the outside. He opened the door and went inside. The room was very cold and dark, but the light outside the room helped him to see Ryan, who was lying on the ground. He ran towards her and patted her cheek. Ryan, Ryan! He called her name but found her unconscious. He immediately took her in his arm and carried her out of the room and laid her on the ground. Ryan, open your eyes. He rubbed his hands together and then placed them on her face to give her some warmth. Her body was cold as ice. He took off his coat and wrapped it around her body and started massaging her hands. Please wake up, he shouted. A few minutes later, he found her moving and groaning. Ryan, he called softly, placing his palm on her cheek. She opened her eyes and looked around. Then the memories of that room came and she sat up with a jolt. That room, that body, she said, pointing to the room in fear. Dead body? Jungkook frowned his brows. Yes, someone killed that man, she said, hiccuping. And what were you doing here? Jungkook asked, this time with anger in his voice. I came here to help that man, she murmured. What the? Jungkook stood up with a jerk and was about to scream at her, but restrained himself. Ryan flinched back in fear and looked up at him. Hot tears streamed down her face. Her choppy breathing and watering eyes remained for quite some time, and she sat there unmoving. He looked at Ryan, who was crying. He ran his hand through his hair to control his anger. He took out his cell phone and called his man. I am sending you the location. Come here and inquire about the murder that took place here. He then hung up and took a deep breath. He looked down at Ryan, who was still sitting on the ground. Get up now, we must leave this place quickly. Ryan wiped her tears with the back of her hand and stood up. She looked at Jungkook with a puffy red eyes. Thanks for coming here and saving me. I was scared. Scared? Jungkook scoffed and marched toward her, booming. Do you have any idea how frightened I was when I saw you lying there? You can't even imagine how I was feeling when you were not opening your eyes. Jungkook shouted, causing Ryan to shrink back in fear, her hands clutching the hem of her dress. Sorry. Irresistible sobs racking her whole body. Why can't you spend a day without getting in trouble, huh? Ryan flinched at his tone. He had never been afraid of anything before, but today this girl showed him his biggest fear. Fear of losing her. Come out now, he muttered angrily as he walked out of the factory. Ryan looked at Jungkook's back, who was heading for his car. Many thoughts were running through her head, and she finally came to a conclusion. She wiped her tears and took a deep breath. It's now or never. With that thought, she ran after him out of the factory. Jungkook was close to his car when he heard his footsteps behind him. Before he could turn, His body suddenly pushed forward when Wyatt wrapped her arms around his waist and hugged him from behind. I love you, Jungkook.